Ellie here from the Dark Imp, helping parents reclaim family time by playing board games together. So, a new year. Everyone loves a challenge at the beginning of a new year. And if your aim for 2020 is to play more games with your family and reclaim some family time, then a challenge might just be the way to go. So I've got a challenge for this year. A lot of people in the board game community do a challenge called 10 times 10. 10 games that they'll play 10 times during the year. And they cross them off every time they play them and they see how they get on. So I've got my own 10 times 10 challenge to play this year with my family and friends. I've got 5 games and 5 categories of games because I play a lot of different games. So I might not have time to play 10 games 10 times, but I hope to have time to play 5 games 10 times. So I've got Istanbul. Now, a lot of these games I've chosen because I've got them and I haven't played them. I know they're good because I've read reviews, I've watched people's videos on them, and they're highly rated. So I want to play Istanbul because it falls into that category, but I haven't played it yet. On the Underground is a new game we got last year. You would have seen it in my top games of 2019. I just want to play it more. That's why that's there. Terra Mystica falls into the same category as Istanbul. Only just got it. Got it for my birthday just before Christmas, so really excited to play that. The Magnificent was a game that we picked up last year at Essen convention at the Spiel. Haven't played it yet. Really looks good. Don't know what it's like yet, so I'd like to get that to the table. So I'm going to try and play it 10 times this year. And Hats is another game from 2019, a much shorter game than the others. And I really like it. I think there's some interesting scoring and some, but it's simple, but a lot to think about. So I want to play that as many times as possible. So that's on the list as well. Then as well as that, I've got cooperative games. So anytime I play a cooperative game, I can tick it off the list. Vintage games, because I've got quite a few of these old games and people have been giving me them to try, and I've got them sort of stacking up and I need to have a go at them. And also I got Totopoly for my birthday as well, which was a game that we used to play as children, and I want to play that. Dexterity games that you use your hands with. I've got a few of these myself, but I don't often gravitate towards them. But then when I play them, I enjoy them. So I think I ought to broaden my horizons a bit and play more dexterity games. I also know that a friend of mine has got a really good dexterity game for Christmas, so that'll be ticked off when we play on the dexterity games. Then I've also got one-player games here. I think playing a game in a solo version is a really good way to get to know it, to enable you to teach other people it on the higher player counts. But I don't often do it. So I'd like to play more one-player games so I can really get into these games myself before I introduce them to others. And then 2-player games. Some of the best experiences I have are playing 2 players. And actually here I'm talking about games that you can only play with 2 players. Games that have been designed for 2 players. So I'm looking forward to playing more of them this year. I'm often in situations where that's what I want to play, either with my mum or with my son, one of my sons. We just want to play just the 2 of us. So that should get ticked off. Hopefully I'll complete my 10 by 10, 10 times 10 challenge for 2020. So I suggest that you create something similar, or if you don't want to commit to playing 100 games over the year, then you could try other things. So you could decide to have a game night every week, and each week you tick it off and say you've done it, and that could be your challenge. You could say, oh, once a month I want to play games with friends of ours. So you can once a month have a game night where you invite other people over. Possibly you might have a challenge that's 10 new games that you've never played before. Not playing them 10 times necessarily, but playing them once, trying 10 new games that you haven't tried before. Or you could get 5 or 10 friends to teach you a game. So teach you games that they have that they like. The other thing you could try is playing games with new people. So going to conventions or just local game nights, you can look on Meetup. They've got lots of game groups on Meetup that everybody's welcome to. It's a really wonderful community. of people that are very inclusive. And I know it can be hard the first time you go to a new group, but then you get used to it, and you'll see how inclusive and how welcoming people are in the community. So I recommend that. So there's all sorts of different challenges you could have for 2020. What will your board game challenge be?